Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Brown. I'll be your instructor for the online New Testament course. Just wanted to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about the course as well, so you kind of have an idea of what you're getting yourself into this semester. First of all, I teach religion, philosophy, and English at Carl Albert. I'm also in charge of the online, like the virtual campus, all the online courses. So if you have any questions about this course or any other online courses you're taking, feel free to give me an email or a phone call, and we'll see what we can do. My husband also teaches at Carl Albert. We both love it here, love teaching very much. And we have 3 children, one that goes to school at OU, one that goes to school at NSU, and one that lives at home with us. So we are kept very busy. I am originally from Alaska, grew up there and was born there, grew up there, and then went to school in Indiana and got a double bachelor's in English and religious studies. And then I completed a master's degree from Biola University in Los Angeles in Christian apologetics. And now apologetics is a branch of theology that deals with giving a reasoned defense for the truth claims of a particular religion. And in my case, it's Christianity. So that may be an unfamiliar concept for you, but let me assure you it includes a lot of theology classes, a lot of scripture classes, and a lot of philosophy classes. So I'm decently well versed in this area, and this is one of my favorite classes to teach. So part of the reason it's one of my favorites is because the Bible, and especially the New Testament nowadays, are incredibly influential. In fact, right at the beginning of the course, we talk about how influential and what a big impact the Bible has had in culture, even outside of religious context. So even if you're not a religious person, this is a good book to know about. It's kind of like knowing about Shakespeare, had a huge impact on the English language. Same thing with the Bible, very big impact on not only the religious aspect of our culture, but in other aspects as well. So this is a really valuable study for you to understand who we are as a culture, and then also to understand one of the most influential religions of our culture and of the world as well. This is their holy book, and so interesting to get to see it kind of from an insider's point of view. So this is the textbook that we'll be using. Put it there, maybe get a glare off of it. Okay, it's called Introduction to the New Testament. It is the 2nd edition, and it's by Ben Witherington III. It's published by Oxford University Press. So this is the one that you need. This is all the books you'll need for this class, and this is then you will definitely need it. We have readings out of the textbook, and then quizzes based on those readings. And so you'll definitely need it or need access to it on a regular basis. So speaking of the influence of the Bible, let me just make a note here about the tone of the class. Now, whenever we talk about spiritual things or religious things, politics falls into this category as well. Things tend to get heated. Have you noticed that? People get real opinionated real quick, and that's a good thing because that means it's important to them, and it should be important to them. So keep in mind that there are a lot of opportunities for discussion in this class. I ask you a lot of pointed questions, and you will have time and space to offer your own opinion on those things. However, keep in mind that even though you may have grown up with a sort of a leaning towards the Bible, there may be people in the class that have not, and vice versa. If you have grown up not in a context where the Bible was used a lot or was considered authoritative, be aware that there are people in the class that do think that it's authoritative. So this makes for a really great context for discussion, though, because then we get people's opinions from both sides, and we learn to appreciate the Bible as a text and as a cultural icon, even outside of or in addition to the spiritual implications. So with that in mind, keep your discussions respectful. Feel free to express your opinion, but please don't use this as a grounds to try to convert anybody to one side or the other. And also make sure that you're focused on learning the Bible through an academic lens, because that's what we're doing in this class. So I will really look forward to seeing a lot of your discussion posts. If you ever have a question about that or wonder whether or not something you have to say is appropriate or not, please just shoot me an email and I will be more than happy to discuss that with you over email. So a little bit about how the course is constructed. You have a set of modules in your course. I'm just going to look at it here to make sure I give you some good info. So you have 7 modules in this course. They are roughly 2 weeks apart. And all of the due dates for everything in each module will be Mondays at noon. So it won't be every Monday, right? Because it'd be basically every 2 weeks. But Mondays at noon are going to be the standard due date for work in this class. So you can use that to kind of adjust your schedule. You have 2 tests in this class, a midterm and a final, and you will also be required to write a research paper. I will provide you with a prompt, or at least a ballpark that you can choose from, and then you'll be required to write and cite your sources, use scholarly sources and cite your sources. So word about the modules, make sure that you work through the modules in order, because often I'll give you some information and then after that will be an assignment based on that information. So make sure you work through it in order, and then double check and make sure everything's complete before you move on to the next module, because I don't want you missing any assignments in there. Okay, if you ever have any questions or need any assistance with anything, feel free to give me a call or send me an email, and I very much look forward to having you in class.